Empathic ability is your ability to feel what other people are feeling, to think what they're thinking, and to have physical impressions based on what their physical body is experiencing. It is coming from objects, others, atmospheres, and the invisible energetic world, things you cannot measure. Your question is going to be, from here on out, for the rest of your life, what is mine and what is others? We could name this class, really. What is mine and what is others? If you're dealing with children who have this, we could look at them anywhere from like the 1st to the 3rd grade. They may entirely lose their ability to read and write. If you send them off somewhere to a special center or whatever, they can regain the ability to read and write. But even if they were straight A students, they may completely shut down at some point around that time. Tend to feel as though they're here to heal the world, but they're also overwhelmed and need a lot of escape. You may need a lot of personal space. If you don't take a lot of personal time and personal space, you will have meltdowns. Emotionally, it could also look like aggression. You may have a really hard time sitting next to people, being in an enclosed room with people, going places. Bright lights affect you. Loud noises affect you. Walmart is hell on earth, okay? There are places where there's an accumulation. Because remember I said it's also atmospheres. You're picking up on atmospheres. Anywhere there's an accumulation of negative energy, it could be brutal. You could walk in and you could be in Walmart 5 minutes and have a full-on migraine, be sick, and it could take you out for days. You have to shield yourself. From research done in latter years, that empaths are the #1 group of people to attract narcissists and sociopaths. People may also feel jealous toward you. It's not uncommon to hear, that person's too good to be true, they must be up to something. They're up to something. People get very competitive and people may sort of attack you. Empaths who try to get into romantic partnerships may have more difficulty than the average person. This is due to the personal space issue. If you want to have a happy marriage, if you want to stay in a relationship long term, I would highly recommend have your own house. If you can't afford to have your own house, have your own bedroom. Can't afford to have your own bedroom? Come up with something, okay? Here's the thing. If you're sleeping next to another human being, or your dog, or your gerbil, or really anybody, okay, you become very susceptible when you relax, okay, and you drift off, and you're no longer blocking. You start picking up on everything from them. So you can dream their dreams. You can feel what they're feeling. You may do this without them laying right next to you. It is too much. That is your sacred time. That is your rest. That's where you heal. This is an alert. So you have to learn your body, right? So your homework after this is going to be to figure out all your triggers. Mm-hmm. And one of your big questions is going to be, what are my thoughts and what are not? Every time you had those heart palpitations, that anxiety attack, something got in. Mm-hmm. Oh. You're feeling it physically, mentally, telepathically. Somehow something got in. So if you're blocking all the time, it's going to be harder for you to do. So you have to kind of get dirty to find your answers, you know. But you're going to gauge what your normal thought patterns are by spending more time in personal space and time. So no dog in the room, no kids in the room, love you but later, you know. Start expanding on how much time you spend alone, because then you can tell your natural rhythm of thoughts again and start taking ownership over yourself again. Something called electric person syndrome. 3rd and the 4th levels, you develop electric person syndrome. Anyone seen the movie Carrie?
Yeah, long ago.
Carrie was an empath, right? Very sweet girl, so loving. Isn't she great? Well, not when she was angry. Empaths are energy manipulators. At the core of what we do and what we are, we're healers and we're energy manipulators. That means we can go into a room and manipulate any situation, any conversation, health conditions. We can remove disease. We can also do a lot of damage when we're angry and upset or anxious. So the same way that we can do good, we can do harm. Electric people are people who voluntarily or involuntarily can drain energy sources or recharge. So you could like charge your phone without plugging it in, like with your hand. You could drain your phone. You might drive down the street and the lights go out, right? The street lights, and then the car goes under and the light goes back on, and then the next light goes on, and then the next light goes back on. You burn out, light bulbs are always burning out, batteries are always being drained, the computer system's shut down. If you're very nervous or upset and you're quickly trying to cash out somewhere, you know, the cashier might be like, I don't know what to say, I haven't had problems with this machine. Step away, and it works. You come back, okay, and it stops working. Now, one of the ways that spirits communicate is through something called clairaudience. The grandmothers used to say that if your ears were ringing, somebody was talking about you, and they would say left for love and right for spite, and that was pretty accurate. If you Google tinnitus right now, doctors can't figure out why none of the meds are working anymore, why we have all these new cases. It's because of the awakening. It's because of the great enlightenment that's going on. The tinnitus is kicking up. It is a form of communication with the other side. It's also something empaths use all the time. So when your ears ring, it's like a frequency. A lot of people associate it with loss of hearing. It's somewhat treatable, but if it is this, it's not treatable at all. Tinnitus is a ringing in your ears, this frequency that you can't seem to get rid of. And other people would experience it like a pressure in the ears, like when a plane goes up or comes down. Other people feel it almost like when you put a seashell up to your ear, kind of like a muffled, odd sound. It can even be painful, depends on how you get it. If the left ear is ringing, that is a spirit trying to communicate with you. You're supposed to answer the call, okay? Now, the way the messages come in, the ear rings, and then they put thoughts in your head. It's going to seem as though it is your own thought. Out of the blue. Now you're a level 1-2 empath. Out of the blue. You're a level 4 empath. What happened? Pregnancy. Birth of a child. Death of a loved one, including your pet. Anesthesia. Even if you had like a wisdom tooth removed, okay, that can do it. Anything tragic, major car accident, a divorce, anything that was traumatic. Most certainly a near-death experience. And a lot of people are born as a level 4 empath because they got sick as babies or they almost died in the birthing process. So a lot of people are just born right into it. I also believe that it increases naturally every 5 to 6 years. Okay, let's talk about blocking techniques. So now you're clean, you're cleansed, you're ready to block. You are going to choose to block on days when you wake up and you're like, no, this cannot happen today. I can't work with others today. I can't be healing others today. I don't need to absorb from around me today. It's going to require all my energy to maintain my own self. That is a blocking day. You cannot do this all the time. It is going to be important that you are on some days allowing, and we're going to talk about that after. Now, if you find that you're about to go into a toxic situation, say you're at work and everything's fine, you're not blocking, but you're about to have a meeting and this would be a good time, or you're about to go spend the holidays with some family and there are some toxic family members there. Okay, there's someone who always causes you trouble. You're gonna want to protect yourself. If you are sitting in a situation, let's use your example, okay, like a classroom. You're in a classroom a lot, right? Sitting in the classroom, sitting in an environment with a lot of people, you start to pick up on things that are making you uncomfortable. Stop. You're gonna say, what is mine and what is others? What am I feeling? Where is it coming from? So the next task is to figure out who or where in the room this energy is coming from that is not your own. And if they need healing, send it. You don't have to be Reiki Mastered certified. You don't have to, go into the caves of, Peru. You just send it, okay? It's just good healing intention. So you visualize light, love, healing. You could do it like a prayer or a blessing, but you are focused on that person and you're sending them what they need and you're releasing it from your own body when you do that. Okay? Then you cleanse out, and if you don't want it coming back in, you block it. This is the type of thing you're going to have to work with. I would say at least 2 to 3 months. Every day you're going to maintain. Every day you're going to cleanse. You're going to block when you need to. You're going to allow when you need to. You're going to send out. But if you are doing this on a regular basis, you should be feeling tons better, or the problems that you were having may actually just cease to exist. Okay, anyone who's interested in bringing this into your program, whether this be educational, rehabilitation centers, we're even looking at, prisons at this time, anyone dealing with children or problems using self-control, please do contact us. We also have, for educators, this is available. It's a little different than today, but it's a 2 career credit. So you're going to want to go to ivriveraempatheceducator.com. It's a totally different system. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you soon.